everyone. Sorry, that intro was longer than usual. I had some very last minute prep I needed to do because I completely forgot about it. Anyway, we are back. Game time. Game time indeed. Also, I have pizza.
If I am not in the correct lane and I have to get past traffic, that's stressful.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Are we ready for hopefully some character development?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Ready to bonk this guy in the head if he doesn't learn.
Alright.
But hopefully he gonna learn today.
Oh, he gonna learn?
You gotta learn something.
Alright.
Hopefully it's the lesson we're actually trying to teach.
Yeah.
We're gonna feed the character development into you.
Maybe the real character development is the friends we made along the way.
Which
for
would
the,
be character development in this case.
for the stream announcement, I said time for a character development speed run.
Yeah, this is our Christmas Carol plot. We are trying to make Jared into a better person in one night.
So who's which ghost?
I actually had a conversation with my fiance about this like a while ago, even before we did this, of which party members
Hell
which
yeah.
go.
Yeah, we could probably do that after we're done, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Recap. Last time, Jared got arrested. More explanatorily, Jared got arrested, and the rest of the party had a conversation with Janaka and the Matron of the Moon to figure out what to do about him. And we pick up with Jared in his cell. But what has Jared been doing for the past... how long does everyone think it took to plan all this out?
Probably the night, just to make sure we all knew what each other's plan was and then to gather everything to get it set up.
Alright. So for these
Yeah.
past few hours, what has Jared been up to?
He knows the anti-magic exists. He would probably try summoning his pact weapon at least once just to see if he can pass the time through training, but most likely it wouldn't.
Correct.
Yeah. So he would pass the time trying to busy himself, and he doesn't want to think about specifically what his patron or the others of his family would think of this, because if he starts thinking about anything related to that, he's gonna spiral a bit, and he doesn't want to do that. He thinks he needs to keep a cool head, so he is preoccupying himself with exercise and making himself so exhausted that he cannot have the energy to think farther than, okay, I'm stuck here, I have to wait, they're deciding what to do with me, maybe I can get out that way.
Oh, so you're pulling an Iroh. Got it.
Essentially, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah.
Although to be fair to Iroh, he was doing it purely for self-improvement, but just like, if someone's working out a lot in prison, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. It's fair. It's fair.
So yeah, after some time, I think it's as you're turned away from the gate, you hear it unlock, and there's a few guards there, all armored pretty heavily. You see your sword and your armor displayed before you, and the door is unlocked and opened.
He distrusts this. He does not like that he is being let out and his items are being returned. So he actually takes a singular step back from the gate and says, "What is this?"
You are being given a chance. You have not yet committed a crime, and Our Lady is not so cruel as to convict you before you have done such. Instead, she has, with your companions, set forth a trial for you.
Oh. So I must complete a test to earn my absolution.
In a way.
I am familiar. I am quite familiar with that. Very well then.
Be prepared, because this is not a test just of your might or your mind, but of your heart. Yeah, you're let through. You're let to gather your equipment and put it on. And yeah, there's the one exit up the stairs. Do you take it?
If it is the only way out, then he does so.
Right. You take the stairs, and as you head up, it's much brighter through them than it was when you were originally brought down here. You have to cover your eyes as you head up, and as it lets out, Ismaru, what does he see?
He sees a figure. A cloaked figure. With a weapon similar to his own. The weapon is not drawn.
You also find
are to be-
yourself inexplicably standing in a dirt-floored arena. No stands for watchers except, with Ismaru's permission, I would say there's a pedestal on one end behind the masked figure where Mina is standing, if you would
Yeah.
allow.
Perfectly fine.
Then Jared would ask both to the figure in front of him and to Mina. So this is to be my first trial then?
Yes. May you learn and change.
Very well. And Jared will prepare for a battle, get into a fighting stance. And he is very, very curious how this person has a weapon almost identical to his. So he's gonna wait for the cloaked figure to make the first move.
Alright. It's 1v1, so we don't need initiative here. Let me just pull up different music. Alright. So the figure shall attack. What's your hit bonus, Alden?
To hit bonus with my packed weapon should be a +8. +8.
Alright. 19.
That'll hit.
Alright. And then what's your damage modifier? Is it just +5?
Yep, because it is my charisma.
Oh, that was meant to be 2d6, sorry.
Oh, it's all good, it's all good.
So 12 total damage.
Alright. takes the 12 points, and for a reaction, going to cast Hellish Rebuke at 2nd level. This figure needs to make a DC 17 Dexterity saving throw, or else take a total of 22 fire damage, half on a success.
Alright. What is your modifier for a dexterity save?
+2 currently.
8. So, failure. How does this, this Hellish Rebuke manifest off of Jared?
From the blood that spills from the attack, the flames seem to emerge and leap from it to the figure, burning them.
The figure is completely covered by the flames, engulfed. For a moment you can't see them, but when the flames dissipate, they are unharmed, and the armor and the sword seem even more vicious.
That doesn't seem right. And taking his own turn now, he is going to he's gonna pull out all the stops. He's gonna try first he will put this figure under the Hexblade's curse. And then he's going to, with his greatsword, take a slash and additionally use Booming Blade. So here's the to hit for the greatsword first. A dirty 20.
You swing, and the figure brings up an arm. I would say roll damage.
Alright. The slashing damage is a total of 20 damage, 17 from the weapon itself, 3 from Great Weapon Master, and then with Booming Blade, it would be an additional 1d8 thunder damage, since I'm at level 5 or and above. So that's a total of, you know what, Jared is going to, thanks to the Pact of the Blade, Jared is going to swap the slashing damage to necrotic. So that's 20 necrotic and 6 thunder, just for the sake of visual flair. That's instead of straight up slashing, it's seemingly attempting to decay away this figure.
The figure brings up a gauntleted hand to block the impact. They shift from both the force of your body and the thunder damage of the spell, sliding across the ground a little bit. Their arm buckles in, but they are seemingly unharmed, and the armor and the sword is ever more vicious. What are we up to now?
That was my bonus action. Oh yeah! The extra damage from the Hexblade's curse. I forgot about that for a moment. It would be an additional, where is it? An additional 3 damage, if that matters at all. And action.
26 for the second attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that hits. Okay. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this.
Also, since Zoldan and Jared are not necessarily directly don't necessarily have the same goal for the scene, feel free to metagame by looking at the modifiers.
So it started with a +8, it turned to +11. Okay, that's fun. And 2d6 became 5. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's so fun.
So the figure attacks, and this is an unprecedented amount of force coming your way, Jared. Feels, I think, after seeing some dragons in action, this feels like a dragon hitting you. What you could imagine that would be like. And it's not the same as before.
So I can't hurt you. Or else you just get stronger, hmm? Clever. He seems to be genuinely enjoying this. The idea of this fight. He is going to use a bonus action in order to heal himself up with 10 hit points with Lay on Hands as shadows stitch his wounds together again. And instead of trying to outright damage this creature, he is going to attempt to cast Hold Person.
Alright, what is Jared's wisdom save modifier?
His modifier, currently, without any additional things from whatever damage I did, is +5.
Alright. 9, so that's a failure.
Alright, this figure is now paralyzed. And gets to remake the save at the end of its turn. And he's going to, now that this figure is paralyzed, he is going to run past it and head towards Mina.
Alright.
His action and bonus action are used. He has nothing else he can do. So he'll get as close as 30 feet allows, and that will be his turn.
Alright. It is the figure's turn. 24, but that's at the end of the turn, so it is now broken free.
Alright. If then Jared will say, if the point isn't to fight him, then maybe it's you. He will cast Eldritch Blast once with the 2 beams at Mina. The first one is a 12, which I assume misses.
That is correct.
And the second one is a 27.
That would hit.
However, you aim, the first one goes a bit wide, the second dead on, but is deflected by magical force.
I am not your test.
Then you are the overseer. He will cast, as a bonus action, Shield of Faith on himself, give himself an additional +2 AC, because that thing hurts.
Mina will once again say, learn and change.
All right. Figure comes in. Oh my gosh.
That is my that is my AC.
Oh, so still a hit. Nice. Cause heh.
Ouch.
Oh yeah. If it moved closer to me, then it also takes 2d8 thunder damage. I don't know if this would change anything, but I still want to add it from it moving closer to
would
me.
Booming Blade have not have faded because it's been around?
It stays
Oh,
the initial damage, and then the subsequent damage is if the target moves, it takes this much.
okay.
How long does that effect linger?
I believe it's until triggered. Let me double check that.
It also might say in the spell
Ah.
description duration 1 round.
Because it's a cantrip,
Yeah.
so preventing you from
Yeah,
moving
no.
without taking damage forever
Yeah, no.
would
that-
be ridiculous.
Yeah, no. I am misremembering the thing. It lasts until the start of my next turn, and if it willingly moves 5 feet or more before then, so it needs to be continuously applied to get the effect that I'm thinking it had. Okay. Then never mind, it would not take that damage. That's an error on my end.
Yeah. So, Jared, you just shot at Mina, and the figure comes up from behind you. Monstrous now, like a demon. And cleaves down at you.
Jared is not looking well. He is going to instead attempt to... He's going to attempt 2 things. One, he's going to attempt to grapple this creature. And second, he's going to attempt to pull the hood down to see what exactly this is that he's fighting.
Alright. What is Jared's athletics modifier?
My athletics is +7.
Alright. Contested athletics!
Huh. Yeah, no. Doesn't get grappled.
The figure doesn't seem to be putting much effort in, but easily overpowers you.
Alright. In the attempt at the grapple, would he have been able to, at the very least, pull the hood down at all?
I'll leave that up to Ismaru.
What was the question, sorry?
In attempting to grapple, was Jared able to get the hood down?
No.
Okay.
One moment, I need to grab my spin downs really quick so I can keep track of things. I said very quick because they were just out of reach for me with my headphones on. So it's literally just take my headphones off, just walk like
Reach,
less than a
grab,
step,
and
and I
back.
could grab them, yeah. But yeah.
Alright.
And that is Jared's turn.
Let me double check if there's anything he can do with a bonus action. One moment, please. He is going to use the second wind that he stole and recover 9 hit points, which honestly don't matter, but he thinks that it will matter because every hit point matters. The only one that matters is the last one.
I have taught you well.
Magic player's mantra: life is a resource. The only life that matters is the last one.
Yep.
All right, figure's
And-
turn.
Mm-hmm.
19. We established that was
That
AC.
Yeah, that is my AC.
For 38 this time.
Jared goes down.
All right. You. The second you go
He
down.
seems to welcome it almost.
The second you go down, you wake up back in the cell. You hear the unlocking, and honestly, same conversation as the first time happens. Here is where we are going to get a little weird about it, just for time's sake. Some of these challenges have fail conditions. Some of those, Jared's gonna repeat them until he gets the lesson. So the way we're handling that, as opposed to running through it every time, I would like to ask you, what do you think is the lesson there?
Instead of, as the player, violence is not supposed to be, well, in Jared's mind, violence isn't the answer, it's the question, and the answer is yes. But what he's supposed to learn is that it is neither the question nor the answer.
Correct.
I believe, yeah, it should be a last resort. And I think
Yeah.
I think that Jared. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, from there, it's then up to you. How many loops does it take for Jared to instill that lesson? Or for him to figure out what's trying to be said and fake it?
I feel like he understands well enough that you're not supposed to fight this thing. The second that you fight it, it gets stronger and you lose. So he would probably try speaking with it and seeing if there's anything that can be done. He would probably lose his patience at least twice. But I think
I mean,
it
that
would take.
that sounds a bit like a conversation between you and Ismaru about how long it would take for him to get the point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it would probably
And every
be...
time he's about to fail, Mina will repeat, learn, and change.
Mm-hmm. Then it'd probably take... It would probably be the fourth or fifth loop where he understands, all right, fine. Let's be civilized about this. And while he may not know what specifically is to be done, he would be patient enough by that point to not just go, this is ridiculous, and try again anyway.
All right.
I th-
What would happen when he finally does?
You have learned, but will you change? And the figure will take off its hood to reveal an alt version of Jared A version not scarred by his patron.
I imagine Glory Paladin for a good
Yes.
version of Jared. Like, I don't think he'd be Devotion, but Glory very much feels like a good Jared would be a Glory Paladin.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Also, mechanics of that one, because it was fun. I was adding +1 to the hit mod every offensive action Jared took, and a d6 to the damage. When he attacked Mina, I decided to up it by 2 ticks instead, because that is
That was a big no-no.
yeah, that is like, okay, this is the opposite of the point. Mega punishment.
We'll also now point out that Jared has attacked every other member of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't know. It's like, okay, like in his mind, a trial is a trial by combat. So, okay, attacking this figure isn't the point. Maybe it's a bodyguard for you. That's also not the point. Okay, I'm dead.
God, so high, so many dice.
It's fun rolling so many numbers like that.
Yeah, and what was really fun about that is this trial, Jared isn't actually in danger, so there are no consequences to me getting to roll 9d6 on an attack.
Oh, I see how it is. I get to have the consequences and you don't. I see.
Exactly. That isn't that the point of being the DM?
Yeah.
Anyway, once Jared has internalized the lesson, you hear the grinding of stone as a door opens up below Mina.
I understand
will-
that you won't. Go ahead, sorry.
Meaning we'll step aside and let Jared pass.
I understand that you will not tell me what I'm to face next. Would you, at the very least, tell me who? If each of you have come up with something like this.
Does Mina even know who's next?
I would say yeah.
One you have traveled with and who knows you well.
Very well. And he steps down further into the next trial.
Alright. Poke Emblem. What is the area he finds himself in?
Next area Jared would find himself in would be in a long corridor. It is only lit up by a few sconces with torches, about every 5-10 feet. With the corridor itself, it is fairly thin, and lengthwise you would guess about 80 feet. And sitting at the end beside the door, well, less sitting and more lounging in a chair at this point to sleep, would be Eni with her hat over her head.
Jared will be confused as to what exactly the trial is here, since it just is seemingly a hallway. So he's just gonna very calmly approach.
Hearing his armor, Eni wakes up. Oh, you're finally here? Damn, it took you a while. And she'll shift to actually be sitting in her chair.
The first was trial and error. The second and third, I admit I was hasty. It only took me 4.
But I guess you finally figured it out. Well,
Indeed.
I guess lucky for you, I'm being very much more generous. My trial is simply just make it to the end of the corridor. That's all.
It's a very simple objective. Why do I have the feeling that it's not something you've made easy?
She gives her sharp, toothy grin. You know me.
I'd
It's
think.
turn.
I'd like to think I do. Let's just see how well that is then. Yes? And Jared's going to immediately start running. He's going to be on the lookout for anything that might get in the way. And he's going to start dashing down the hall. Dash action included.
As he runs down the hall, 5, 10, 15 feet, at about the 40-foot mark, suddenly everything starts feeling a lot heavier, as it feels as if the ground itself is beginning to sink and become almost like sand.
Elves.
And it would then technically be essentially become difficult terrain. What's wrong? Just make it to the end.
Ugh. I had a feeling it wouldn't be quite as easy as it appeared. And he's just going to keep on trudging.
As he would continue to trudge, he would sink further and further into the ground. At about the 45-foot mark, it would be up to his knees, and 55 up to his waist.
He's going to stop moving to see if the movement is making him sink faster or if he's just sinking at the same rate.
As you would come to a stop, you would find yourself still sinking. Would you mind doing a perception check, though?
I would love to. Perception. It's not a great bonus, but let's see if I can get a good roll. That's a good roll. 21 total.
Nice. As you are sinking further into the ground, one thing you would notice is, as your head and vision get closer and closer to the ground itself, you would see shadows almost clinging onto you. Specifically, though, the shadows look like hands. With one, I would say with one of those hands looking very much larger. Like, familiar larger.
With the thaumaturgy cantrip, Jared is going to use the fire play aspect of it, which says that I can cause flames, such as the ones lighting this hallway, to flicker, brighten specifically, dim, or change color for 1 minute. So he's going to try to make the torches brighter to dispel the shadows.
As the torches become much larger, you see that increases the size of the shadows. and you feel yourself sinking further. That and that large particular hand, now it's a little, as it becomes closer and you're pulled down from your now going past your waist. The shadow itself, it almost has, it's hard to tell from it just being a silhouette, but it almost seems as if it has draconic features to it.
I'm gonna roll a straight intelligence check to see if Jared recognizes what this is. Because I think I do. Oh, that's a 19. Okay. I did not expect that from you. Good job.
So, since I have a feeling you know what it is, who do you think that hand belongs to?
The very first mark that Jared has slain and whose power has been taken on this journey, his brother Karth, as he was a dragon flesh grafter.
Indeed. You do recognize that as Garth's hand. And as you look at it, you can see that the hand itself is specifically... You also begin to notice that the hand itself is specifically grabbing on to your sword, pulling it down.
He is going to... He's going to try to let it loose and just let that be taken. And if that, if it grapples him, if it tries to grab him again, then, I did not mean to do that. Oops.
Grappled, prone.
Yeah, no, I just realized, oh, hey, I still have those from previous sessions. Let me close those out, and then they just automatically sent those.
Technically, it's not wrong.
It's not incorrect, yeah, technically, now that I'm thinking about it.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so he lets loose the, his great sword, and, yeah, no, he's, he's going to, whether it's misplaced or not for this particular instance, he's going to place trust in someone other than himself for once. And himself and his own abilities. And thinking, okay, if this is supposed to be make me more sociable, I don't have a better word for it, but better, not as violent. He just holds a hand over to out to Eni and say, well, what would he say? He would let the flames die down to their natural state and ask, I can't do this on my own. I never could. Please. Then, sorry.
No worries. Just one clarification.
Yeah.
Did Jared drop his sword?
Yeah, he did let go of the sword, and then he's asking, basically, please help. And then the final thing that he would say is in a much softer tone than he's ever used before. Actually, that he's used with Eni specifically once before when when she jokingly said to carry her and he actually accepted. The only other time that he's ever spoken softer. Please.
I guess first things first, as you do drop the sword, and the large draconic hand pulls it down beneath the ground, you do find yourself slowing down on sinking into the ground. There's still about a half dozen hands though pulling you down, but it's slowed down. As you do ask Eni for assistance, she raises an eyebrow at that. That's unusual request. I could try, but you do look pretty heavy right now. As Edie will jump out of her chair and walk casually down the hallway.
So that's it. He's going to try to see if the hands are specifically grabbing him or if they're grabbing his equipment, his armor, his weapons, his items.
Investigation check, please.
Yep. I'm not great. Reasonable. 13.
There's plenty of hands grabbing, and you would notice that they're indeed focusing on particular parts of you. As you'll see, a majority of the hands seem to grasp onto sections of your armor as well as your pouches and other items that you have on you, with nothing actually trying to grab your hand specifically as you reach out.
I see. So that's how it is.
At this point, I would say that you have sunken up to right below your shoulders.
Whatever he can maneuver around, whatever he can release, whatever he can let go, unequip, he tries to make himself as light as possible to either halt or rapidly slow the sinking.
And as you loosen your belts and pouches containing potions, gold, your dagger, you do feel yourself actually starting to become lighter and begin rising back up.
Yeah. He keeps going until every single hand, every single item, nothing is left. And once he's fully unequipped, he lets the rising continue until he's fully on his feet again.
And by everything. Is it truly everything?
Um,
Sorry, I'm just asking for clarification with one particular thing in
it's perfectly fair. If it is what I think it is, then probably the last thing that he would have on him is the Amulet of the Devout, which and his old amulet that he had been wearing. And instead of throwing it away or letting it sink to the bottom, he specifically crushes them in his hands.
My, that is certainly an interesting answer.
I would say they crumble far too easily, far more than they should have in this space. You do not permanently lose access to them, but just for the sake of the trial, that's how things are manifesting.
Understandable.
With the destruction of the amulet, you fully rise back up to the surface, your feet now on solid ground. What do you think the answer to this one was?
To forget the fight. To let go of everything.
Something like that. Yeah. Still want that hand? As Eni will hold out a hand.
Sure. Why not? And he takes it.
With that, Eni will lead him down the rest of the chamber and bring him right to the door. Alright, this is as far as I can take you. This is on you.
Is Ember next? Or are there others that I must face?
Just a second. Want to remember the order. You know what? I think I'll leave the next one a surprise.
All right then.
Go get him. As Eni will sit back down in her chair. Give him a toothy grin.
He gives a genuine smile in return. And he nods to Eni and walks onward.
You enter into an enclosed crypt room. You hear, before you can process anything, you hear the voice of Janaka. Hello.
Hello again.
This one should be easy for you. Make a choice. And at the end of the hallway before the door, you see on on your left, so the room, so from the door's right, but your left, a pedestal. On it is a sword. A sword that you would definitely very much like. Definitely Jared's style. On the opposite side of the door is a, shoot, I never locked down what they look like. What does the person in this cage look like? If anyone wants to chime in.
A person in cage.
Weren't there some kids at the inn where that we were defending from the Golden Tyrant's forces?
Oh yeah, the kids.
Oh. Outstanding.
Brilliant idea, Miranda. Make your choice.
And what choice is this supposed to be? What am I even choosing?
If you don't know that right now, is that not the point of the trial?
Is there anything in this area besides the sword and the pedestal and the cage with the kids?
Nope.
He's going to step forward and not deviating either side yet. He's stepping closer, equidistant from the sword and the cage to see if there's any details that he couldn't perceive earlier. If there's anything on the sword that catches his interest, anything on the cage that could be opened.
You may make a perception check.
A 15.
Nothing you wouldn't have noticed on your first look.
Suppose I know what I meant to choose. Takes a breath and goes over to the cage to see if there's any key or any way to open it, or if it needs to be opened through brute force.
You go over to the cage, and you are, I would say you are able to, when you put your hand on the cage, it unlocks.
Then he would open it.
Thank you. They both say, and then they run out the way you came, and the door opens. On the other side stands Janaka. I honestly thought you'd fail a few times.
My first instinct was actually to grab the sword and break the cage open that way. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Grabbing the sword, that would have made you fail. What do you
So
think
I
you were supposed to
suppose-
learn?
Not to harm, but to help.
More complicated than that. Because you see, the sword wasn't just about harming. The sword was power.
Willingly give up power to help those who have no power themselves.
That, and your pursuit of power hurts others. Innocence. Anyway, she reaches into the purse on her side and pulls out a small, plain silver band. You might need this in the next room. Hands it to you.
He takes hold of it, puts it on, and examines it for a moment.
Doing good so far. She pats you on the shoulder as she walks towards where you entered.
He is going to just stand for a few moments in place, thinking. He takes a deep breath. Well, half of a deep breath, half of a sigh, before continuing onward and facing maybe his last trial, and potentially Ember.
Alright. As you pass through the door, what is the environment that is opened up to Jared?
So the environment, you realize, is a familiar one. It is an inn that you came to with initially one other person in tow, and you left with two others. And the arrangement in the dining area is very much like it's closed for the night. Like, there are a bunch of, the chairs are on top of the tables, except for one table, which has two seats facing opposite of it. And at that table is a chessboard. And I will explain, but I just sent you a doc for reference, so in case you need it.
All right.
And from what would be the kitchen area, Ember comes out with a platter of food, kind of like a charcuterie board type thing with some like breads and meats and cheeses and a couple mugs of soup. And it's like, about time you got here. There you go. I imagine the other ones probably wore you out, and well, you should really never play dragon chess on empty stomach. Seriously, that's how pieces get thrown across the room. It's, Oh yeah, and yeah, so I am your last trial, and we just need to play one game. You don't even need to win, we just need to finish. Also, you can roll all the inside checks you want.
Jared is specifically going to incite, oh yeah, all we need to do is do this. Like, that's, like, everything else, yeah, no, this is Ember, this makes sense for it to be the trial to just do things, and, like, wait, that's it? Like, everything else is stuff that Ember would do, but telling me what the trial is, don't even have to win, it's just play a game. 11, not great.
I will say you definitely get that, like, he definitely knows something he's not sharing, but doesn't, like, he's a bad liar, and, like, that, you know, he is being honest about the win condition, but there's definitely some, you know, omission going on. Also, Ginger is not there. Make of that what you will.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Jared is specifically going to, after looking around for a moment and noticing, he's specifically going to ask, I thought you took Ginger everywhere with you.
I mean,
Except for
she's
dangerous
here,
areas.
I mean, she's just having a nap, she's fine.
Can I insight that?
So...
Because
go ahead, roll it.
In Jared's mind, it's like, wait, you're inseparable. 12, not much better.
We'll say definitely. Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like, there's definitely a reason he didn't bring Ginger here and you don't know what it is.
Very well then, I suppose I'll find out one way or another soon enough. Would you like to play the game after or before? Referring to the food.
Yeah. I mean, whenever. I mean, you know, Dragon Chess usually takes a minute. This version of Dragon Chess will go quickly. It's very easy. But I was just thinking, have food beforehand, and he grabs, like, you know, part of a baguette and put some cheese on it and, like, puts it on his plate, so. But yeah. So anyway, I am now going to walk you through the rules of Dragon Chess, because we are going to start this. So basically, you know how with sparring, we've just done, like, raw strength, dex, and con checks? So we're basically going to do that, but with wisdom, charisma, and intelligence. So basically, we're going to go back and forth, like, making, like, you know, like, Ember will make the wisdom check, then Jared, and so on, and me going, and Ember going first will actually help you, because basically, there are 5 rounds, and each round has everyone rolling a one of those checks. Now, whoever gets, so wisdom goes first, and wisdom is essentially, like, how good you are at, like, gauging your opponent and, like, planning ahead, and whoever gets the higher wisdom score will get to add a d6 to their intelligence roll for that round. And then with the charisma, that is basically, like, how good your poker face is, how good you are at misleading your opponent. So whoever rolls lower with that subtracts a d6 from their intelligence roll. And then finally we get to the intelligence roll, where it's basically your general, like how good you are at chess skills, and whoever gets the higher score for that wins the round. Whoever wins the most rounds wins the game. And couple things. So because Jared has guidance, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you can add your guidance roll to one of the checks per round, and like you can like roll first, and you're like, oh, I think I can, do a little better. Then you can go ahead and add the guidance afterwards. But once we're like, okay, this is what we're going with, and we're moving on to the next roll, then you can't go back and change it. And similarly, because Ember, he had a long rest and could switch his proficiency to Dragon Chess, I get 3 rerolls that I can use at any point. So that way it's not just, I have an extra +3 because, then that's not fair. Also, if Jared wants to cheat, he can roll a sleight of hand check, competing against Ember's passive perception, which you can also, if you want to add guidance to that, then that's your guidance for the round. And if you successfully cheat, then you get to make your next roll with advantage. But if you fail the check, then you have to roll with disadvantage. So.
Okay.
All right. So I will go first, and I will be, to make this a little easier, I will roll on the computer. So, oh no, we're assuming D&D Beyond likes me today. Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't know if that sent. Shit. Okay, okay, it worked. Okay, we're ignore the second one, that was the double click. So
Going with a 12 then. Alright.
yeah.
Then I will roll a counter wisdom myself, which is the same bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm not gonna try and re-roll that, so we can lock in the wisdom. So you'll add d6, and next is charisma, which I am infamously bad at. So we'll see how that goes. All right.
12. All right. Charisma. Ooh, you did better.
Okay. You could add your guidance to it to see if you want to beat it.
Say again. My internet got weird. Can you please say one more time?
Do you want to use your guidance roll on this? Because I'll let you do a meets it beats it. If you.
I believe Jared would save it. He'll leave that as is.
Okay, so because you won the wisdom round but lost the charisma round, that means that you roll your intelligence, and then you roll a d6, and that's the bonus you get from wisdom, and then you roll another d6 and subtract that. So, for failing the charisma round.
All right.
So, I will go first. Ooh, I didn't. I kept on getting 12s even though I'm rolling different numbers.
And that's actually hilarious though. That was 12 3 times.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah,
let's see,
and
what's
you
my-
can add your guidance because you haven't used it unless you want to cheat. You can cheat whenever
Jared.
and however often you want.
Jared is not going to cheat once throughout this entire game. Believe it or not.
All right.
So that's d20 plus 1d6 minus 1d6 and plus 1d4 and plus my intelligence modifier, which is a 1.
Yes.
So that's a 19
right.
total.
Yeah. Okay. Point to Jared. Yeah. Also. Hey DM.
Yes?
Do you think Jared would start noticing the thing yet?
I would.
Jared, make a perception check.
Okay. Okay. Alright. I knew it wasn't going to be this simple. That's a 10.
Okay. Now we'll let go another round. Okay.
What's happening?
Nothing's happening, it's fine, it's just a normal game of chess. Anyway!
Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Definitely.
Alright?
16 compared to 14. You get the bonus.
Alright.
And your charisma.
Yes. Ooh, that was real bad.
Ooh. And that was real good.
Okay, so now I'm the one who gets alright. So I got the plus and the minus, so I'll do.
So I just roll.
Okay, yeah, I'm typing this all out, so
1d20 plus 1d4 plus 1. And I will hold my roll to you do yours.
okay. Oh!
Okay, that's
Oh, that was brutal!
upsetting. Okay.
That might be a good opportunity to use a reroll.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I am gonna reroll that. I am gonna reroll that, so... Okay, I'm using one of my 3 rerolls. And I beat you, so... Okay.
If it weren't for
Pardon my
reroll-
slow typing.
No, don't worry.
Oh yeah,
Since
and here's the thing, I am gonna... Oh yeah, I actually am gonna keep the, so I'll just make it, 1d20 since all the, like, modifiers canceled out. So I'm not gonna reroll the d6s, I'm just rolling the d20. And that's an 18!
Alright.
Point to me!
Yeah. So that's 18, 22, 24. 24 minus
18.
6 is 18.
Yeah, exactly. They canceled out. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, so...
I love
how about Jared makes another perception check, just for fun?
Alright. That's a better one. 17.
Oh yeah. So you can see, Ember's, like, was initially, like, maybe like a little tense, but like, you know, very much like, okay, we're playing a game. But now he's gotten a lot more still and is breathing a lot more heavily. And question for Zaldin, what does the Divine Smite damage look like on a person?
Ooh. I imagine that depending on what kind of smite, it could do different things. For example,
Specifically the Divine Smite,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
radiant
and
damage.
that's what I was gonna describe. I imagine that it is divine energy searing the opponent, so that it would essentially almost look like a it would look like a burn wound, a severe burn wound, but instead of just being charred, it would also have imagine like in Greek mythology they have golden ichor for blood. Similar to that, where instead of it's just all of the blood being gold, it's basically red with gold flecks in it. So I imagine that would be what a divine smite wound would look like, a burn wound with gold in it, to show the divine origin.
So you see, you know where the spot you hit Ember with that, and you are seeing that the burns are going down his left arm and are up his neck, and you're pretty sure that wasn't there before. And Ember is like, he's doing his best to mask it, but you can tell this is a person in pain right now.
No hesitation. As soon as he notices, he just goes to with the time loops. They that was basically a long rest, correct?
I would say so. Full reset.
All right. In which case, he is immediately going to use 10 points of lay on hands to heal, and for a bonus action, and for an action at 2nd level, cast Cure Wounds. For a total of 20 from Cure Wounds, 10, so 30 points of healing total. Not just immediately, as soon as he notices that.
Okay, this is just above table real quick. Wasn't expecting this.
Oh.
You solved the trial, but we were expecting almost fail condition first.
Yeah, I was expecting. Yeah, I made this 5 rounds for a reason.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
No. You did fine. You did fine.
No.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
This is a level of like task succeeded unexpectedly, as in Family Memories when a player got wish and was able to like not in a very satisfying way with wish solve the problem of the arc.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, cause here's the thing, that's 30 points of healing. I think Ember should be completely fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do that, and I think what Jared can kind of sense is he gets, like, as you're healing him, you get the sense that it's like what you're seeing on Ember's skin is like being amplified from like what happened yesterday. But as you kind of heal that, you realize, like, oh, all of that damage was still there. But here's the thing. You remember how I was asking you exactly how many points of damage that was?
Yeah.
So that was 28 points of damage, and that 28 points of damage did not go away after the long rest. I just got temporary hit points because from receiving medical attention. But since Jared is now actually healing him, that does, you can feel that goes away. And I think, as I will say, it's not an immediate thing. Like, it's definitely like taking a little bit longer to fully like sink in. And I think Ember's just gonna say, "Is this your way of saying you're sorry?"
It was never my intent to kill. Not you. Only to subdue.
I understand the other, the fire, the ice armor, the whatever the acid was. You know what this is. That was cruel.
And I have no right to ask for forgiveness.
You understand that I have a lot of problems right now. That
I do.
the people I love are in danger because of what we're doing, because of our enemies. You understand that you can't keep doing this.
I do understand that. I do understand that everything is piling up against us, and I do acknowledge that I did nothing to help and everything to hinder us in this. Because I was very focused on helping myself. I've always known this. I've always been aware of these things. But it is very difficult to do anything other than what you've been trained and taught and instructed. And in the case of deviation, punished in order to perform.
Would Mina and Eni like to enter the room?
I.
Oh.
No, I was gonna say something.
Sorry, I
I,
did
I
not.
was
Go ahead.
I was waiting for Jared to finish.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, well, then let me ask something you asked me yesterday. What are you going to do about that? If I thought there was no hope for you, I wouldn't even be in this room.
I still need to be stronger. I still need to be better. We all do, if we just seek to fulfill our goals. I don't plan to stop at the ones who trained me or those I trained alongside. The cycle will break when I have cut the head off of the snake that set this institution up. I'll simply have to find a new way. One that I would hope I haven't, uh, one that I hope I wouldn't have to go alone on, if anyone would have me.
I'm willing to help you put an end to this. What you've been through is wrong, and the ones who started it need to be stopped. I don't disagree with that. But no, taking it out on people who don't deserve it, especially not the ones trying to help you.
I wasn't thinking. If I had been, I would have merely tried to break your hold on me. My first instinct when threatened is always to fight. I should not have. I know what you were trying to do. And I know what I should have done. I suppose now I
And
have to
what is
figure
that?
out what to do with myself. Find any other way to get through that moment. Literally anything would have been better than what I had done. I have no right to ask for your forgiveness, but I do offer an apology.
Thank you. That's all I really wanted from this, is just you seeing the harm you've done someone else and caring about that. We
I care.
still need to finish the game. Do you want to get back to that?
He nods.
Okay.
Once.
And we don't actually have to play the rest of the game, but yeah, they'll finish it.
I always like rolling dice, but I feel like I feel like for the sake of time, I feel like it'd be best to
Yeah.
to say, how about we do one straight D20 roll, no modifiers, no additional dice,
Yeah.
just a straight D20 to see who ends up
Just
winning.
straight rollies.
Heck yeah.
Alright.
Right.
Ooh!
Oh.
Reroll! I'm burning a reroll!
Perfect. Perfect.
Do you still have more rerolls, technically?
I do have one more reroll. Ah, damn it!
Ah!
Okay, honestly though, this feels fitting.
All right. That
Mhm.
trial.
Yeah, I think once you do checkmate, like Ember, shakes her hand and is like, "All right, congratulations, you passed the last test."
Honestly, slightly surprised the matron herself didn't have one. He shrugs.
Yeah. You're really not bad company when you're just yourself.
I thought myself was. He waves his hand dismissively. Everything else. This was always a facade. I thought, at least.
One more door stands before you, Jared. Do you enter?
He, once the game is finished, as well as the food that was prepared, he would stand and walk towards the door before looking back. Would you, will you be coming with me, or is this all some sort of elaborate illusion?
No,
And you're somewhere
I'm
else.
actually here.
Hmm.
I think maybe go by yourself. This is also Miranda not knowing what's on the other side of that door, because I
Yeah.
thought I was the last one.
It's
Yeah.
not another trial, but it's something I admittedly did think of last minute.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Then Jared simply steps through.
On the other side, you come out to a grand gallery. Gorgeous statues, paintings, mosaics, all in this room, with the back of it having a giant stained glass window with portions of it made of clear glass so you can look out at the city below. Standing in front of the window is the matron, currently in her elven form. As you enter, charisma save against Zone of Truth. So you can choose to fail it.
He does it out of reflex, 23.
23 passes. Disappointing. But
That's also me doing it out of reflex.
but as I've proven, my wit is sharp enough. Come join me.
Very well. He steps forward, and gets his own look at where she is.
You look out upon the city, bustling, the sun shining brightly, reflecting off of the stonework. I've worked hard to make this city what it is. A place of peace and beauty. It's very hard work. And I don't back down from a fight as much as I would prefer to avoid them. But today is not about me, is it?
No, I suppose it is not.
Tell me what you have learned.
That first, that trying to fight only hurts me more than others. Those who survive deal with the consequences of the fight. That
No, continue.
okay. Second, that keeping hold of things, whether it was as literal as it was in the trial itself, or metaphorically so, keeping hold of old grudges only drags you down. The consequences of which, if you're too slow to realize it, can be fatal. Third, power is useful, but only so far as it's put to the right use. Actively gaining power for the sake of power is not right. Help others with what you have. Do not grasp for more. And lastly, that all of this is all of what I've done lingers. It festers. I have wronged many. I acknowledge and accept that. And most, I will never have the opportunity to apologize to them. And I doubt that they would even listen or accept if they could hear, at the very least.
Forgiveness is hard to earn, but you don't need
Indeed.
it. And in fact, searching for it may only hold you back.
Indeed. I can't apologize. I don't seek forgiveness. I don't expect to be forgiven. At the very least, I can make the effort to improve, to be better. That is not something one can only do by honing their skills. You must choose to be better in every aspect of yourself.
She is going to roll an insight check to see if you are actually internalizing these lessons, or just, oh, I know what the trials are, I'm saying what you want to hear.
Fair.
33!
33. Okay.
I don't think you
Wow.
can beat that!
Yeah, no, the only way that could be beaten is if I had so many bonuses. If we had a bard, if we had a bard, a star druid, D4 guidance, advantage to ensure a natural 20.
Yeah, with our party, no.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely.
And we wouldn't be helping you try and beat that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ember's made his feelings clear.
So, has Jared internalized these lessons? Or is he just saying what the lessons are supposed to be?
It's a kind of a mixture. Like, it's not that he's actively lying and saying, oh, this is what you want to hear, so I'm going to
It's-
say it.
He's on the first step of the journey to becoming the person these lessons will make him.
Yeah, he is very much. The words sound foreign in his ears, and considering who is saying them, they almost ring hollow. But it feels like it's something that he has known before this whole trial. It's merely that it's finally starting to be. Maybe he doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
He's always known these lessons. It's just now they're actually seen as something viable,
Yeah.
something that's possible for him.
He has a long journey to go, but at least he's been set on the right path.
He knows what
Yes.
he must do to try.
Yes.
I'll make sure the others keep you to this. Congratulations. And congratulations to you all. She calls to the door where you all have been waiting, including Janaka. Does anyone enter into the gallery?
Yes, Mina will enter immediately.
Yeah. Ember will as well, with Ginger in tow this time.
Edie would follow behind that.
Janaka does, but her stance is very cautious.
Ember is standing next to Mina, so.
Jared turns to the others as they enter. He just gives a simple nod of acknowledgement, not really trusting his voice at the current moment.
Well,
We were.
you go ahead. I have the matron has a thing to say to end the session off.
Okay.
So
We were once two faces of the same coin, both gaining power. Me for others, you for yourself. Now I feel that you know that gaining power just for yourself doesn't help anyone. Doesn't lead you to the goal that you were aiming towards. I will walk the road to gain strength with you so we can both achieve our goals and break the chains that tried to bind us.
And may they not just be broken, but torn asunder, never to be repaired, reforged, or rebinded, or rebound.
I think at that, you feel something, not necessarily a physical part of you, Jared, but connected to your magic, break and snap. As what we talked about comes to pass. You know what this means. Your patron has stopped providing you new power. Mechanically, as we talked about in Uocade, Jared will not be able to take Warlock levels until he finds a new patron. However, the deal is still on that if you kill any other followers of your patron, you will gain an ability from it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Jared technically has no oath yet, specifically for a subclass. But he would have taken a oath in a sense to
Baldur's
in order
Gate
to
3
be
style.
a paladin.
Baldur's Gate 3 style, you choose your oath at level 1, even though you technically don't have your subclass features.
Okay. So would this mean that he would be an Oathbreaker now, or would I, when I gain the abilities at level 3, choose something other than what he was originally planned to be?
I would say, given the nature of this, and like, you know, the same way that in play, what we have right here is less you breaking your oath in the traditional sense of going against your oath, as you are going through the process of changing your oath.
Okay, understood. Thank you for the clarification. And as he feels the magic connection sever, he briefly clutches at his chest as he feels that right over his heart.
Immediately, Mina is by his side.
As is Ember. I think Ginger's like at your feet, checking on you if you're okay.
You would walk over.
I think Janaka keeps a distance, but it's a partially cautious distance, partially I'm not close to this person distance.
Are you alright?
He has heard my words.
The first
We
link
are
in the
severed.
chain. The first link in the chain has been snapped then.
Indeed it has. I suppose I'll have to find a new source for my abilities then. Or manage with what I already have.
However you wish to do it, I will assist.
Well,
He takes. Oh, sorry.
I thought things were wrapping up again. Don't mind me.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I'm sorry for interrupting you twice. And having a new thing to say. Jared takes a deep breath, then he stands up more straight and to Janaka, he very sincerely, if she were to insight him, she would see that he very sincerely says, I apologize for my original intent. In my delusions, I believed that offering you the choice to accept a challenge would make everything all right compared to the others. Even offering such a thing would not have been. You have no right. You have no right. No, I have no right to ask for your forgiveness. But I do offer an apology.
You can prove yourself worthy of my forgiveness by becoming a better person. I was hurt, but I'm also not going to disallow you the chance to make up for what you've done.
I suppose that's the best I could ask for, considering everything.
Oh, and you can keep the ring. It has Dispel Magic in it. And when you've used that, you can use it to store another spell.
His eyes widen and he blinks. Thank you.
She looks to Ember. He didn't even get to the fun part of your trial.
I know, right?
The fun part?
I think
Looks over at Mina and Edie, remembers that he didn't give the full context on Israel these two, and then he'll just say, I'll explain later.
The matron then pulls out a letter from her sleeve. If I do remember correctly, you all said that you were looking for jobs to make money.
Yes.
Go on.
Luckily,
Azina will look over, gleam in her eye.
luckily for you, one has come to my attention. One pretty important. A local mine has been seized, the townfolk around it driven out, and they do not know what is causing this. This would be handsomely rewarded. That mine is one of our major sources of copper, which many of our sculptors need for their bronze work and other items.
Where? Where is it? Where must we travel? And how far is it?
At the base of the mountains, specifically over here, I would say.
Then that's our next destination.
You would be doing my territories a great service liberating this mine.
Very well then. We'll do our best.
We will succeed.
I'll be staying behind, obviously.
Understandable.
Nice to see you all again.
And may
As
next
well.
time be under better circumstances.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
hope.
Apologies to drag you through all this.
Hey, something good came out of it. Alright.
And everyone would probably notice that Jared, like by now, most certainly, that he's speaking in the same, softer, less forcefully low and gruff tone, just more like he's been speaking more normally, more soft.
And as we close the session, our next little beat of the story will be dealing with some copper thieves.
Hell yes.
There is some real life explanation as to why this plot point exists.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
not to be told on stream, just for time purposes. Thank you everyone in chat for showing up. Thank you players. This was a great session. You guys did so good.
I love
Thank you
RP.
for running. I
Yay, we
wish I
smirched
had
him.
any. Yeah, I wish I had any DM skills, because I would have run Mina's fight.
It's okay, I don't have DM skills either. I could barely describe a room.
Bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Why?
Bye, everyone.